And after 2 years and getting the support of the most respected institutions of the world, we work a lot around this question. Is that true? Is that true that we need to choose between the economy and the climate? And our answer is completely not. It's not true. It's a false dilemma. It is possible to get economic growth and tackle climate change at the same time. Yes, we can have better growth and better climate. But in order to do that, we need to change structurally 3 big systems before the year 2030. And these 3 big systems are, first, cities. We are expecting that in the next 15 years, 1 billion people in the world will come to live in the cities. 1 billion people. That implies that we need to build a city like Zurich every 2 days. 1 Zurich every 2 days. And the way in which we decide the kind of cities we will build, that will have an impact on reducing climate change and increasing productivity in the world. One example. Look at this. This corresponds to the real surface of 2 cities, Barcelona and Atlanta. They have in common that they have roughly like 2.5 million of inhabitants, are equivalent in the size of the population, but not equivalent in the size of the territory. Barcelona is deployed over a surface, Barcelona is in the right, in a surface of 162 square kilometers. And with even less population, Atlanta is deployed in a surface of 4,280 square kilometers. And the consequence is that people in Atlanta is polluting, is emitting more than 10 times per capita than the people in Barcelona. So the conclusion is, it's absurd to continue with these sprawling cities that we have adopted mainly in the US, in Latin America, and a lot of developing countries. Cities growing and growing over the surface. We cannot continue like that. And particularly, we cannot continue to focus our civilizations in the use of automotive cars, individual cars. We need to switch, and the switch we are proposing is to more communicated, concentrated, and coordinated cities, more densified cities, based upon a massive transportation system instead of the use of individual cars. We are not canceling individual cars, of course, proposing that. But we need to invert the public policy that has been put in place in several countries. And the consequences are good for the environment, and yes, will be very good for the economy and for businesses. One example, the BRT, the Bus Rapid Transit System, that it provides a lot of direct benefits for the people and for the economy. For instance, we are estimating that the system of BRT in Johannesburg, in South Africa, we have an economic benefit of close to 900 million in its lifetime. All the benefits already provided in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, with the BRT, that it is demonstrated that it's saving the time for the people in 50%. So there are gains in the economic field and the environmental field as well. So second system, that we need to change the land use. So basically, more than 20% of the total emissions are coming from deforestation and degradation of the soil. We need to stop that. We need to increase, for instance, productivity in the agricultural sector in a way that we can produce more food in the same and even less surface. And again, it is possible, it is needed, and it is profitable. Look at this graph, I like it very much. In the 60s, that was the landscape in one region of South Korea. Now, this is the landscape. It is possible to transform the landscapes everywhere if we put the right public policy, and we will get a lot of economic benefits. One example in my own country, for instance, there are a lot of them. teak plantations, teca, which it has a rate of return of at least of 12%. 12%. It's a real business, profitable, and it is capturing a lot of carbon emissions per hectare. So it is possible to do that, and it's needed. And the third system we need to change, which is very important for this forum, is the energy system. The good news is clearly technology is in our side, and you know that very well. Let me say, this is the graph of this is the curb cost of solar energy, solar panels. 8 years ago, from 8 years ago, now, solar panels are 90% cheaper. 90%. And actually, you can see that it's a dramatic negative slope. And this is the lines related with fossil fuels, like this is the inflection point. Look at this. There have been auctions to supply electricity with renewable energy in Mexico, in Emirates, and in Chile. $29 per megawatt hour, far below the fossil fuels even. So the point is like this. Renewable energy is becoming quite competitive, and it's the great news we have today that we can change, again, with the right public policy, the system. And it's happening exactly the same, or very similar, in wind power costs over time. Now, where are the benefits? The benefits are for companies, for consumers, and for governments. One example for consumers. Well, I broke my my soul, but let me share my own case, which is my home, as we the Mexicans say, your home. Huh? This is my electricity bill. In September 2014, when we went back from Kennedy School, I was paying like 4,200 pesos to the electricity company. Well, I decided to put solar panels in my roof, and 1 year after, I was paying less than 200, so less than 5% of my electricity bill. You can see my consumption here in kilowatts hour to the utility, and my payments. So I have a payback of roughly 5 years to say. It could be better. So it is possible. There are gains in economic side, not only for the environment. Actually, I can ignore, or I can say climate change doesn't exist. But honestly, it's a good profit, it's a good business to invest in renewable energy. The good news for that is, with this change in these three systems, we not only will improve the environment, and not only will get net economic benefits in several of those measures, but also we say in the Commission, we even can foster the economic growth. We realize that we are living such difficult times in the economy at global level. Well, we believe that taking action is not an obstacle. Actually, taking action is a way to get out of the economic recession.